Hey there, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about fungi. As you already know, fungi are the group of living organisms. So today we are going to look into the general properties and its placement in the kingdom classification as well as its harmful and beneficial aspects. So here's the overview. First, we're going to talk about its introduction, the general characteristics of fungi, its placement of fungi in the specifically if we talk about the five kingdom classification system, then its classification and the different criteria for the classification of fungi, and also the beneficial and harmful aspects of fungi ecologically and environmentally. Beginning with the introduction, the study of fungi is known as mycology, and the scientists or the people who study the fungi are known as mycologists. There are approximately 100,000 species of fungi which have been studied. The taxonomic status of fungi has changed from the group of plant kingdom to a separate kingdom fungi. Historically speaking, we can say that scientists and the botanists used to study fungi. The reason was there are like several reasons which has made fungi a group of plant kingdom rather than giving it a separate placement as a as a separate kingdom. The first one is fungi are non-motile just like plant, and they lack centrioles just like plant. Also, they have the cell wall like plant have got the cell wall. Although the cell wall of fungi is made of chitin, but they still have the cell wall which is not present in the animals. So the scientists used to think that fungi should be placed in a should be given a group in a plant kingdom. But later on, the DNA and the genomic studies has configured that fungi shouldn't be a part of the plant kingdom. Rather, it should be given a separate taxonomic status. And now we have got a separate kingdom, fungi. Habitat. Talking about the habitat of a fungi can exist, usually can grow in the moist environment, and it loves living in the moist environment. But it can grow in several other, you can say, several other habitat as well, because fungi can grow easily wherever the organic or the living matter is going to be present. Also, they have got the tolerance to a wide range of the temperature. They can go from the climate region to the very cold climate region. You have seen the fungi growth on the food which you have been kept in the refrigerator, or the jam which was being kept on the refrigerator. So fungi can be grown over there. Even bacteria cannot grow in in the refrigerator most of the time. So fungi can tolerate a wide variety of the temperature, from high temperature to low temperature to minus 5 degrees Celsius temperatures in some cases. And they have been also found, several species of fungi are also found to be acido tolerant. They can tolerate high acidic environment as well. The characteristic type of mitosis. Here comes a unique property of fungi. There are several species of fungi which go through a special type of mitosis which we call a nuclear mitosis or the closed mitosis. Uh, Diagrammatically, we can check over here. So we have got like two types of mitosis, open mitosis and the closed mitosis. In open mitosis, what actually happens, that is a normal kind of mitosis that occurs in the in the cell of the animals and the plants. Um, the nuclear membrane of the cell disintegrate during the cell cycle, during the mitosis, and the spindle fibers are going to be formed outside of the nucleus because there is no nuclear membrane present in this case. So spindle fiber are going to be formed in the cytoplasm, and thus the you can see here the chromosome are going to be separated towards the opposite poles, and then the two daughter cells are going to be formed. But what happens in the closed mitosis or the nuclear mitosis, you say, the nuclear membrane doesn't disintegrate. You can see in the metaphase here, the nuclear membrane doesn't disintegrate. Rather, the spindle fibers are going to be formed inside the nucleus or around the nuclear membrane. So, in this particular type of a mitosis, it has been seen that the nuclear construction is going to occur. So we have seen the cell membrane construction during the cell division process. The cell membrane constrict where it has to basically get pinched off into two new daughter cells. So here you can see a unique type of nuclear mitosis where the nucleus, the intact nucleus, because it doesn't have disintegrated earlier, so it will constrict at the region and will divide the two set of the daughter chromosome equally, and thus the new two daughter cells are going to have the equal amount of the chromosomes and the two separate nuclei. So it is a nuclear mitosis, and which is being carried out by certain species of fungi. Not all the species of fungi carry on the nuclear mitosis, but it is yes a unique property which is being linked to the fungi. Now we are going towards the general characteristics of fungi, eukaryotic. So fungi species are eukaryotic. Eukaryotic means they possess a true nucleus. They have got the nuclear membrane, double membrane bounded organelles. For example, mitochondria and chloroplast in case of plants. So eukaryotic organism, they have the ATS ribosomes in it, and they have got the nucleus which has the nuclear membrane, and the nucleolus is going to be present. A prominent part of the nucleolus is going to be present in case of the eukaryotic cell, usually multicellular. So a lot of the species of fungi are going to be multicellular, with the exception present here is one of the type of the fungi known as yeast. One of the class of fungi yeast which is being characterized as unicellular, and one of the most famous example of the yeast is Saccharomyces cerevisiae, which is normally used in the fermentation process, usually the alcoholic fermentation, and it is also very famous in the bakeries and the production of the alcohols and the beverages, and you can say in the production of the bread. We use the yeast, Saccharomyces cerevisiae. So yeast is a type of a fungi which is the unicellular. Except that yeast, all other fungi are going to be characterized as the multicellular. The next one is membrane bounded organelles. So if we talk about if we have said it is eukaryotic, so they are going to have the membrane bounded organelles like chloroplast or mitochondria. The next one is ergosterols in their membranes. So fungi have got the cell membrane, it follows a fluid mosaic model. If we talk about the fluid mosaic model, cholesterol is one of the major components of fluid mosaic structure, which provide it the fluidity it requires and doesn't and prevent it to get freeze at a lower temperature, which is important for our cell to survive. So they have got the ergosterols in case in replacement for the cholesterol. So it provides us the fluid mosaic model in the fungi. Cell wall made of chitin. So the fungi cell wall is made of chitin. Chitin is a kind of a structure which is also present in the structure in the you can say the exoskeleton of the arthropod, which is a we can say which is a class of the animal kingdom. We have got the arthropod. Their exoskeleton is also made of chitin. Thus, it helps in protecting it from the physical abrasion or the chemical abrasion. Here is the structure of the chitin. You can see the fluid mosaic model, and we have the glucans. Glucan is basically made of the beta glucose. The next one is chemoheterotrophs. So if we talk about the nutritional requirement or how the nutritional requirement of the fungi are going to be met, it is usually they are usually chemoheterotrophs. So yeah, we cannot consider fungi as a part of the plant kingdom because plants are the autotrophic. They synthesize their own food, and fungi cannot synthesize their own food. They are the heterotrophs. And specifically, if we talk about the heterotroph, they are chemoheterotrophs. That is, they require the chemical from the outer environment, from the near environment, and they basically absorb it, or they through extracellular digestion are going to digest those chemicals into cellular form, and they're going to absorb them. They are absorptive chemoheterotrophs. Some other properties, they can either reproduce asexually or sexually by producing the spores. So fungi can either produce asexually or sexually, and we are going to classify them according to this property as well. They have the successful land adaptation. Yeah, fungi is the kingdom which has been proven to be a very successful land adapted or terrestrial environment suitable for the terrestrial environment. There are several reasons for it. The first one is fungi do not have any flagella, so they cannot swim, and they are not compatible for the you can say the marine environment or the aquatic environment, and they have got a very efficient dispersal system, the spore dispersal system. So it makes the dispersal of the several species of fungi very much easier, and wherever the spore is going to be dispersed, a new mycelium, a new fungi is going to grow rapidly, and it will help in the you can say the expansion of the fungi in the land. Also, fungi have got elongated body, very much extensive system of the hyphae present wherever it is going to present. It has going to have the extensive system of mycelia present. It just helps in the maximum uptake of the nutrients in the land, and thus helping in the expansion of the fungus. If the fungus body is going to be about iota in on the first day, it will no doubt going to be expanded by several hours or by one day because of its extensive mycelia and the efficient nutrient uptake system. And also, if we talk about the chitin, I have told you earlier, chitin is very much resistant to the physical aberration or the chemical aberration. Even if it's found in the cellulose and lignin, which is present in the case of the cell wall of the plants, and it has been proven, it has been seen that fungi can also decompose plants. That's why it is not good for the lumber, the stored timber, or stored wood. So fungi are also very much resistant to physical aberration or chemical aberration due to the presence of very strong chitin chitin in their cell wall. All fungi require water and oxygen. Yeah, they love growing in the moist environment and yeah, aerobic conditions. Food storage. Talk about the food storage in the case of the fungi, it is same as other members of the kingdom. They also store the food in the form of a lipid and glycogen. They obtain nutrients through the absorption. They are the absorptive chemoheterotrophs. I have told you earlier. So they are only going to absorb the extracellular digested simpler compound from the outside near environment. But depending upon the sources from which they are going to absorb those chemicals, they are either classified as saprophytes or parasites. If we talk about the saprophytes are those fungi which are going to get their nutrients from the dead decaying matter or from the living organism which are deceased. And if we talk about parasites are those fungi which are going to have their nutritional requirement met through the uh, living host. So from the living host, if they are going to take the absorption of the nutrient, they are going to be referred as parasite. And if they are taking it from the dead decaying matter, we are going to call them as a saprophyte. Here you can see fungi growing in the refrigeration. So they can grow at a very like varied amount of temperature. They can also seen to have the osmotic tolerant. They are